Buy one, get one 70%. That is something we recommend to do. And because it sounds so huge to the person, I mean, that's going to get a person to get out of their house, to leave their couch and come to your store for sure, or come to your website. And the beauty of it is that it usually ends up being about 29 to 31% off is what the average is. And you're only doing it for a day. That's all. Today on the Richer Retailer Podcast, we are so pumped to welcome Jessie McNaughton, the incredible co-founder and owner of Liftbridge Yarns. And you know, one of the things we're going to talk about is what a Liftbridge is. That's what we're going to talk about. She has this really cozy, community-focused yarn shop in New York. She opened her shop just before the pandemic. So we're going to talk a little bit about how scary that was. And despite all the odds, she made it into this beautiful, creative hub for makers and for her community. And it gets better, because what Jessie is here to talk to us about today is all her details about her anti-Prime Days campaign that rocked their sales. It's a strategy that we teach, but she had such incredible success about it. I wanted her to come and share with you all about all of her tricks, and she agreed to do it. And it brought her community together in a huge way too, which is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, Jessie.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it. Okay, so Liftbridge Yarns. Tell us, where did the name come from? Tell us, what is a Liftbridge exactly?
All right, so we are in Fairport, New York, just outside of Rochester, right on the Erie Canal. Oh. And over the canal, right down the street from the shop, is a historic lift bridge. That's one of the last remaining ones. So it's a really unique aspect of our community.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really awesome. So tell me, when did you open? Like, how far before the pandemic did you open?
We opened 4 months before the pandemic.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And when we shut down for COVID, I had a 6-month-old baby. So that was extra interesting. But me and my co-founder, Dawn, had worked at a yarn shop together before, and she went all online. So we didn't want to work in the warehouse. So we were out of jobs, and we didn't want to go back to the real world. So we put our heads together and decided to open a yarn shop. And all of the in-store customers from our old shop followed us over. So we had a really great community already behind us. And all we needed to do was make $1,000 rent every month, which we did until we could open again. So.
Wow. No, that's so great. One funny thing you said is that you decided you didn't want to go back to the real world. It seems to me that so many people decide that they're not employable. So they open stores or go into business for themselves. Don't you feel like that's true?
Yeah. Yeah, I never had a career that I was working towards or really wanted to do. I never knew what I wanted to be or what I wanted to do. So when this opportunity came up, it was just oh, that sounds great. Would love to work for myself.
Oh my gosh, it had to have been so scary with the pandemic though, and a 6-month-old. My goodness.
Yeah.
What got you through those days?
Really, it was our community. I think 2 weeks after we shut down, I had all of our bestsellers online so people could order online and we could ship to them. So that got us through, and we had a lot of people who bought gift cards to kind of help us float through the first couple months too.
That's so nice. What an incredibly powerful thing to start with a community like that. So this is a perfect segue into the anti-Prime Days, because how did your community come around that day?
On Prime Days?
Yeah, because your community supported you really amazingly, didn't they?
Yeah, it was awesome. So July is typically one of our slower months. So it was perfect timing to do a promo that would give us a little boost. And each day we had a different type of deal. Some people were really excited about the other. So it was there was something for everybody throughout the whole thing. But also in our marketing, we would make fun of Jeff Bezos a little bit.
That's fair to say here. You're among the people here. I don't think he's going to be listening. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'd still, I wouldn't care. I'd be happy. Jeff, if you're listening, I would love to have you on the podcast, because I think it'd be fascinating to discuss your perspective on independent stores. That would be great.
Yeah. So that was like the humor aspect of it is really like on brand for us too. We really like don't shy away from poking fun at things or being punny. So yeah, and people were really excited about the idea of instead of giving Amazon hundreds of dollars that they don't need,
Hmm.
Jeff Bezos
Hmm.
doesn't need more of our money, that they could come and show up for us and support small businesses.
Just so you all know exactly what Jesse and I are talking about. So, Amazon Prime does Prime Days. And so, what we started teaching was that if Amazon Prime is going to do Prime Days, you get to do your own store Prime Days and you get to do something because you know your people better than Jeff Bezos does. I mean, you know your people, they are certainly much more valuable to you than they are to Amazon for sure. So, we recommend that stores do events and we have a whole playbook about it. And so, I'd love to hear now, Jesse, I have it written down right here 286% sales increase during Right, which is usually a really slow month. So tell us what you
Yeah.
did. Tell us like what your deals were and that kind of stuff.
So we're a yarn shop. So one of the deals was a percentage off all of our knitting needles and crochet hooks and all of like the
Mhm.
accessories that go with those.
Mhm.
And that ended up being our best day out of
Mm.
all of the days because people knew that the knitting needle company was raising their prices because of tariffs. So we were able to like kind of make a big deal about that. And one day we did, it was buy one, get one 70% off. Another day we did, oh, you got a bounce back coupon with each purchase.
You remember how much you gave back by any chance? What your bounce back coupon was?
It was $15.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
it didn't matter what you bought, you could spend $3 and you'd still get the $15 coupon.
Wow. Wow, that's so great. I love
Yeah.
things like that. The fewer limitations you put on things,
Hmm.
and even though you get worried that people are going to take advantage of that and do things like that, it's not like there's just hardly anybody that ever does that. Isn't that true?
Yeah. Yeah. It all, like, of course, there's going to be like the one person who bought a
Mhm.
$3 thing and comes in to spend their $15, but it evens out. Like, that just gets kind of washed away
Sure.
with everybody else. So,
But don't you always remember that person? Like I can remember we gave
yes.
out birthday coupons and someone brought in their birthday card and bought something and it was less than the $15 that our cards were. And so she asked for change back. And I was like, no, it's like just a gift. And she said, well, it doesn't say it on the card. Oh, that's true. It did not. So we had to add it and I just gave her the change and who cares, but
Oh my
yeah, it's
gosh.
funny.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want y'all to know is that so that buy one, get one 70%, that is something we recommend to do. And because it sounds so huge to the person, I mean, that's going to get a person to get out of their house, to leave their couch and come to your store for sure, or come to your website. And the beauty of it is that it usually ends up being about 29 to 31% off is what the average is. And you're only doing it for a day. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all.
I think on that day, our average percentage off, I think, was 27%.
Oh, wow. So even less.
So,
Wow. That's so great. And so how many days did you run it for?
4 days.
Okay. And when you were saying about the humor, come on, tell us like give us an example. We're dying to know.
Well, I know on the top of one of our emails, it says like Jeff Bezos sucks, but we don't. And like when we were doing our social media stuff around it, we would, just poke fun at big business.
Please tell us.
Yeah.
Like what else?
Yeah. I actually don't remember other things. I have a horrible memory.
Well, but talk about communicating a message that resonated so deeply with your customers, though. That had to be incredible.
Yeah, yeah. People really got a kick out of it. And so many of our customers are pretty like-minded. And none of us are billionaires. So and people expect us to be like cheeky too. It's just like kind of who we are as a brand, but also all of my employees are really funny and fun. And so, yeah, it was just kind of like taking us being ourselves and putting that into our marketing.
Well, and it's interesting because it's not like you have a huge marketing budget, right?
No, our marketing budget is basically zero.
And yet you were able to increase your sales that much.
We followed, well, mostly followed your email and social media posting schedule. Besides that, I think we spent $50 to boost some Facebook and Instagram posts, and
Mhm.
that was it.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's really great. What I was wondering was about your team and their creativity. It sounds like they got all on board with it also. And how did they help make Anti Prime Days a success?
So they took like each little job that I gave them and just like totally owned it. So
Hmm.
our social media person was able to just like make all of the social media posts like in her own style and everything. And she involved all of us when we were doing videos for social media, but also like people were all of the employees were just so excited about it. You know, it's just like really energizing to have people that are as excited about it as you are. And one of the things that I really like is that, you know, we do on the subject of the bounce back coupons, you know, we try to make each deal like actually really a good deal.
Hmm.
Like my barometer is like, would my mom thinks that this is a good deal? And so like when we're able to tell people like, yeah, you can use your rewards points and you can get the discount, they get pumped and we get excited because it's, you know, they're getting something fun. But yeah, our my team is just so awesome and enthusiastic and energetic that I didn't even have to tell them what to do. They just took it and ran with it.
You know what I love that you said, and I want to make sure that none of y'all missed this, is you talked about how they were all so thrilled to get behind this mission, really, this idea of promoting Lift Bridge Arms over Amazon, like the whole anti-Prime Days. Have you found any other way to utilize that in the store?
Yeah, we have a really engaged customer base.
Hmm.
And so anytime we've done an event of any kind, they've really like responded to it. And this didn't make any money for us, but this is a good example, I think. We last year asked people to donate any knitted items that they finished and didn't wear or whatever. Like maybe they ended up not liking the color or the sweater didn't fit quite right or whatever. So we had so many donations of finished knit and crochet items. And then we priced all of them, put them on racks, kind of like made it a party at a coffee shop and craft beer bar across the street.
Hmm.
And everything, all the money that we made went to our local food pantry. And so, like, the amount of donations that came in as like items, and then the amount of people that showed up and bought things and did the raffle, it was like at the end of the day, I was like crying because it was just so amazing. And we ended up raising almost $5,000 for the food pantry, which was
Oh my
wild.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is wild. That is
Yeah.
wild. I know it's just not me. And I'm sure this has happened to you occasionally too, Jesse, right? Like you're sitting in your store, no one's coming in. There's no one in the store. And it's probably like, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of gloomy here today, for example, and you're like, it's so easy to get so down about stuff. But if you give people something to rally behind, to get behind, like you just said that you didn't make any money on that, on your fundraiser for the food pantry. But the fact is that it's the seeds that you plant and the community that you build during times like that. And then when you have anti Prime Days or other things, or celebrating your birthday or coming up with the holidays and, Small Business Saturday, it's like you benefit from all those seeds you plant on those days. So it is absolutely fine to have an event that just benefits others because it gives everybody something to rally behind. And what I know that people underestimate, what I know that the average store owner underestimates, is that people want a reason to support you. They want you to tell them what to do. And you've done that then. You gave them anti-Prime Days, and so they rallied around you, and look at that. You had a huge increase in sales. And it made them so happy. Like, and I think about that. It's not just the money, right, Jesse? It's also the fact that you impacted all these people and they went home with super fun things, and your team had so much fun and you had so much fun, right? It's a combination of all of that.
Yeah, and from the beginning of the shop, it's been a goal of ours to make it community first instead of
Mhm.
sales first,
Mm.
which obviously we think a lot about sales and how to strategically do things and all of that, but we really focus on our community. So, like 5 times a week, we have sit and stitch events where anybody can come in. It doesn't matter where they bought the yarn, they can just sit down and hang out with people and work on their project. And so that's like a community thing that we do every week. The shop is so much more than a space to just buy yarn. We have a lot of people come in and, tell us how it's their happy place, and like they walk in the doors and they feel calm, and they love like talking to the staff when they come. And it's just such like a beautiful thing to have created this third space where people can come and feel welcome
Mhm.
and feel like they're like part of something bigger and not have to spend money to be there.
Right. But then they do. That's the other
Yes.
point, right? It's like it follows.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you build a community, the sales always follow, don't they?
Yeah, I always say to like when people ask why we don't charge for sit and stitch, because a lot of shops charge like maybe $5 to come in. And but I always say, like, if we have 30 people sitting around a table and we can't get any of them to buy yarn, we're doing something wrong. Yeah, and we don't even
So
really have to try because they're staring at the walls full of yarn all
yeah,
2 hours.
right, right. So true, so true. Yeah, there's such power in that. What other lessons did you take away from running the Anti-Prime Days, and how do you plan to build on their success in the future?
I think that some of the deals that are extra good for customers are a little extra scary for me. One of the things I learned is to always listen to Kathy and follow her directions. Like, some of those things that you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make money on this? Actually, like, really work out for the best for you.
And you don't think they will. Like you get so
Right,
scared. I
right.
oh, I know, I know. I think we have a monthly call with our masterminders, and one of them, I worked with her for I think 12 years now. 12 years I've worked with this woman, and she was having not a super great October. Like it started out really slow, and it did get picked up a little bit towards the end. But we have this goal we were trying to aim for, and so I had said, let's just chat right before Halloween because maybe we should do something on Halloween. So she reached out and she's like, it's really not that bad. I think I'm going to be okay. I said, no, I really think that you should do 31% off the entire store on 31st. And she said, I really don't think I should. And so, okay, I mean, this is a partnership, right? And so,
Yeah.
so I said, well, listen, so let me just double check a couple numbers. So this is what your initial markup is, and this is how many you've actually taken fewer markdowns than you did last year. I looked at all this stuff. No, I really think that you should. She said to me later, she said, well, so then I asked you about 17 questions, which is my way to try to talk you out of it, have you forget that you told me to do that. And she said that then I know that I even texted you 3 times. Which is all true. She did. And she said, but I did it. And I'll just say this, it's nice to have money. Because when I looked at her numbers, her markdowns were still less than they had been before. But I get it. It can be so scary. I'm very proud of you for taking a risk because so often we become so comfortable in the walls, of our prison almost. I know that makes it sound so negative, but the thing is that you can get so stuck and not know what to do. But really, there's ideas around you, but you're afraid of them. And I also understand not everybody knows that anything that we say at Retail Mavens is things that we know is proven. Like I would never say something like that unless I knew it was proven. And it's something I don't tell her to do. Like I don't even know if she's done it the whole year ever before. But we know things will work, and we know. And at the end of the day, you're going to end up richer with more profit and better sleep. Like that's what we know. I'm so grateful and honored by your trust. Thank you so much, Jessie. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, especially I know when we first opened the shop, we did a year with you folks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that taught me that I need to always listen to Kathy. But especially this summer, it's been, summers are always quiet for us, but this summer has been not great
Mm-hmm.
just because of the economy and the world. And
Yep.
we sell something that you pretty much need disposable income to buy. Yeah, this summer was a challenge, and having the boost of Amazon Prime Days it was game changing. And it was timed really well, so we could start thinking about bringing in fall inventory.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I just want you to know that I'm lovingly going to challenge you about the disposable income thing, because I know you just sort of said that offhandedly, and I understand the context that you were saying that in.
Mm-hmm.
What I want everyone to hear is that truly, Jessie, what I know that you sell is you sell love, you sell creativity, you sell belonging, you sell a belief in something bigger than yourself. You sell the fact that I can make a difference in this world if I come into your store because you support other people because it's important to you. So when I'm supporting you, I'm supporting the rest of my community. That is what you sell. And so there's so many ways for you to still do that. You know what? When you're saying about the disposable income, listen, I understand that, hand-dyed yarn, for example, I mean, yarn can be expensive. I was blown away the first yarn kit I bought. I was like, wait, what? It is $70 for the yarn for this hat, and I still have to make the hat? Like, it's not just done. I just didn't understand. I had to be educated about it. And so just side note to everyone listening and about cheap yarn, let me tell you a story that makes me crazy. My grandmother came over from Ireland and she knit forever. And she would design these cable knit sweaters. And it's so beautiful. The story in Ireland is that they would have those Irish sweaters. The cables were for different families so that if the fishermen drowned, they could identify them by their sweater. It's actually a true story. So she designed one just for us. It was so cool. But she used the crappiest acrylic yarn for everything.
Oh, no.
I know, right?
No.
I know. It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
She's been gone for a very long time now, but right, her things didn't hold up, and it's so heartbreaking. So that is the power of using good yarn. I just want you all to know is that these legacy items that we all could have had, we don't have because...
So our shop focuses on hand-dyed yarns from mostly local people. So we have, I can't remember exactly, but 6 or 7 local dyers that when you're buying that yarn from us, you're also supporting a woman in your community who has this like awesome creative job that we're so like excited to be able to support.
That's so beautiful. It's not just about the yarn, but also know that the other thing that you could easily do in the same way that you had people bring in their knitted items that they for the fundraiser, you could also have people bring in their stash. And just make that as a way to make it even more affordable for people, like a one-time thing. The thing I want y'all to walk away from is that you hear Jessie's heart. You hear her heart for her people. And that is why people shop with her. That's what they want to do. So what I know for sure is that really, without exception, anything Jessie does for her community will be paid forward to her and to the rest of the community also. Does that make sense, Jessie? Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. It's making me feel shy, though.
Oh, I'm so grateful you said that because it can be hard to hear someone else acknowledging all the good you're doing. And then you don't want to feel prideful, you want to, but the reason why I want you to own this impact that you have is because unless you do, you're not going to make sure that your business can sustain you so that you can continue to have this impact, right? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
That's why it's so imperative that you see the value of all that you do, because that's why you deserve to thrive in your store. And when I say deserve to, it's because, oh my goodness, what are these people going to do if you're not here? I mean, I know that sounds overly dramatic, but it's not.
So it's actually, that's one of the reasons that Dawn and I started the shop, because we had this sit and stitch group at the old shop that we worked at together. And like a couple months before it closed, Barb started coming. And Barb is like my adopted grandma. She is such a delight. She tells us every time she comes in that this is her happy place. And she's just like such a beautiful, kind person. And so when we found out that our old shop was closing, Dawn and I both said to each other, like, what's Barb gonna do? Barb needs a place.
Absolutely.
We still talk about how really the shop is just there for Barb.
Exactly. And I am positive that every person listening has a Barb. Every person listening has a person that they do it for. And that's why I love this community so much. Don't you? Don't you just love it so much?
Oh my God, I love it so much, and I feel so lucky to be a part of it.
It's exactly how I feel. I feel like it's such a blessing. It's interesting because I was talking to some friends and they're like, yeah, so what do you do? And blah, blah. And they're like, oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, I said, it's not interesting. I said, it's fascinating and it's impactful. I said, I really feel like I am changing the world, like in just a little bit every single day. And it's because you are. Do you see what I'm saying, Jesse?
But if we hadn't listened to Kathy since the beginning, I don't know if we would have made it to 6 years, especially with the pandemic and everything.
Yeah, I remember you were part of our Retail Mavens coaching program. That's what you were. And so you came to
Yes.
the sessions that we used to have. Yeah, that we used to have during the pandemic. That was a crazy time. It felt so great to be able to support so many people. And so, we always end these podcasts by asking people what their milling moment was, just to make sure everyone knows. So, we're all about the richer retailer. And so we're on a mission to get 100 retailers past 100 store owners past $1 million in profitable, sustainable business, meaning that they're not just selling everything on sale and that they are living a rich life too. It's not like they're chained to their store. And so we call this a milli moment because it's like that moment when perhaps you cross the $1 million mark, or perhaps you're doing something that, it's like you're standing there like Wonder Woman saying, I did this, gosh darn it. Like that's what your milli moment is. And I would love to know what your milli moment was.
Well, I can't decide between two of them, so I'm just going to give you both.
Please.
The first one is that I just feel so accomplished and proud of myself that I have built this destination business that is so full of love and community, and people travel to us from Pennsylvania. And we had two sisters who came. They were driving from Michigan to Vermont, and they came through and to Fairport just so they could stop at the shop. So we're really a destination business, which is just mind blowing and so cool. And most of those people who stop at the shop also want to go get lunch or get a drink or go shopping. And there's so many great little businesses in Fairport that we send them to. So even the bike shop down the street, a lot of women's husbands will walk down to the bike shop while their wives are in the yarn shop. And the guy that owns the bike shop jokes to me about it, oh, we got more yarn husbands again. But it's just so cool to not only be making this space for our customers and making this business successful, but we can kind of spread that to our entire community, which is just wild. I never thought that I would be doing anything like this.
It's like that ripple effect. You said the restaurants that are getting business because of you, and the bike shop that's getting business because of you, and vice versa, right? I mean, you get business from them too.
So my second milli moment is, during the pandemic, we hired our first employee, and now we have 10 employees, which they're one full-time manager for the shop floor, and then everybody else is either part-time sales or a teacher, or we just hired a product photographer. I'm really proud of the fact that I've been able to create a business that I created the jobs that I would love to work at. And the shop as a whole is community first, but when it comes to our employees, we're very much people first. So I always tell them we are not saving any lives with yarn. If you need to stay home with your kid or just need a mental health day or whatever, take it. We're fine. Having a lot of flexibility and grace with our employees is just awesome. And I'm very proud of the jobs that I've built for those folks.
Congratulations. You should be. Oh, this was so inspiring, Jesse. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's so interesting because we're looking at what we're planning in the future. And one of the things that we've been really obsessed with is this concept of world building and how that's really the marketing. Marketing is just promoting things or whatever, but how that's not really what it is. It's really not what you do. You work to create this world that you always wanted to live in. And that's what you've done. And it's such an incredible concept, this whole concept of world building and exactly how to do it. And we're going to be focusing on it going forward. And so if any of you all are interested in it, please let me know, because I'd love to talk more about it and teach more about it, because I think it's just a fascinating way to look at marketing from a different perspective, because it's like building the community that it becomes magnetic because the community just wants to come to it. And you did it so effortlessly, but I do know that it can be taught, the principles that you use to create this world. So I'm super excited about it because it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. It's so fun. So thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for being here. If this inspired you as much as it inspired me, please share it, with another door owner, because I want you all to be inspired. That's why we're here. That Jessie, who said she's the most extroverted person she knows. Isn't that what you said in the very beginning?
No, I said the opposite. Super introverted.
Exactly. But she fought through her nervousness to be here to share this because she wanted you to hear it. And I know if you're listening, you are meant to hear it. And I'm positive you can think of another person to share this with. And she and I would just love for you to share it with them, because that's what we want, is more people to catch this vision of what's possible in independent retail. There's so much good that happens, and it's so thrilling. So thank you all so very much to be here. And boy, if you'd like to get more information about the coaching program that she was part of, don't hesitate to just go to the show notes, and all the information's there. We'll be happy to do that. We'll also put Jessie's contact information there.
If anybody wants to get in touch with me, shoot me an email and I'll be happy to talk.
Would you mind just saying right away what it is, just in case someone can type it out fast while they're walking?
Sure. It's Jessie, JESSIE, at liftbridgeyarns, with an S on the end, .com.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And like I said, that same information will be in the show notes if you guys need it. And if there's anything else you need from us, please share. And gosh, we'd be honored if you'd follow the show, and if you'd leave a review. That would also be a little gift for us. I cannot wait to hear what you've done after listening to this. We're Retail Mavens everywhere. We'd love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to DM us anywhere. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I want you to know that you are astonishingly fabulous, and you are loved. Happy retailing. Bye-bye, you guys.